Deep in space within the Ruckbat sector lay a G-type star whose third planet was perfect for colonization. Man named it Pern and launched 3 immense colony ships that scythed across the vast reaches of space. After abandoning their craft in orbit, they settled on the planet below. As their new lives flourished on Pern, a new enemy approached. Every 200 years, the red star passed close to Pern. Deep within the tail of this comet, life existed. A single-minded parasite known as Thread. An enemy without conscience or feeling, whose only instinct was to destroy and devour the food-rich hunting grounds of Pern so it could survive. There was no escape from its appalling attacks. As the Thread hit the ground, it destroyed all organic life it touched. The colony was ravaged and was forced to take shelter in the mountains to the north as Thread laid waste to their equipment, destroyed their technology, and brought them to breaking point. With hope of evaporating and on the verge of extinction, they turned to an indigenous form of life to save them. By genetically modifying fire lizards and utilizing their effective defense system, they created a new race of vast dragons. Named after the Earth legends they resembled, the fire-breathing reptiles took to flight to sear Thread from the sky. When the battle was over, the settlers returned to the simpler life. With the passing of time came the fading of memories. As time passed, they forgot about their home, about the machines that forged the land in which they lived, and eventually about the spacecraft floating in orbit. And now when Thread falls, the air is filled with the cry of dragon song, as the DragonRiders fly in formation again. It was nearing the end of the 7th pass, and 2 young men had been selected as candidates for impression. As the crowds gathered at the hatching grounds, the candidates prepared themselves for the ceremony to begin. The 2 could not have been more different. The elder, Roth, driven by ambition and family expectancy, eagerly awaited the arrival of the dragon that was to merge thought and consciousness, to become one with him. The other, Dalcor, was filled with fear. He had heard the tales about the dangers these ceremonies held. And when the egg cracked, the fledgling dragon began to make his way out of its shell. Roth stepped closer, pushing Dalcor aside, ignoring all sense of occasion and respect. The crowd stood on in awe and waited for the beautiful creature to break into the Pern air and select its rider for the first and only time. Roth leaned forward, waiting for the dragon to reach out and touch his mind. but the dragon pushed past him, knocking him to the ground, and advanced over to the terrified Dalcor. The young boy stared back, petrified, as the awesome beast studied his face. Then deep within his mind he heard a voice calling him soft and comforting. "Greetings, Dakor. I am Zenth." The dragon spoke, using Dalcor's new dragon name. Zenth had chosen him. They were now as one, their thoughts intertwined forever. Dakor had become a dragon rider. Roth stared on, bewilderment and confusion plain on his face. How could such a mighty animal possibly not select him? All his expectations were suddenly shattered as he pulled himself off the rocky floor. As Dakor bonded with his new soulmate, Roth looked up to see his father turn his back, devastated by his son's failure, abandoning him to wallow in his own dishonor. Roth cried out to his father, but his cries fell on deaf ears. They had gone. Disgraced by his family, Roth was sent to Healer Hall in a bid to salvage his career, whilst the timid Dakor grew strong and followed his destiny to the skies, with Zenth at his side forever.
Good morning, Dakor. Bad dream?
Too much wine is all. A new shipment from Bendon arrived last night.
I know.
Everyone had a good time, though. Just as Nalaya would have wanted.
She was a good whalewoman.
She'll be missed around here.
None will miss her more than Marath. She is desolate and risks leaving her clutch.
A gold never leaves her clutch, with or without their werewoman.
There is always a first time.
Then we must find a new werewoman for the golden egg in the hatching ground. I'm sure Sabor realizes the situation.
He does. My hide itches, Dakor.
You always itch. Your hide and your belly are all you think about.
My hide needs oiling. The oil is on the shelves, unless you knocked it off in a stupor last night. The brush should be nearby. Would you like me to tell you how to use items in your inventory?
No thanks, I can manage.
I said my hide itches to call.
I heard you the first time. My head hurts enough without you intruding.
Then oil my hide, and I'll be quiet. Now follow the same procedure with a brush. The core, are you ignoring me? Thanks to Core. Yugath has told me that Sabor wants to meet with you and the rest of the wing later in the day.
Regarding a new werewoman, no doubt.
A search is required. No suitable candidates are here in the weir. We must go to the hold.
I'm not sure the other riders will like that too much. They think hold stock is inferior.
Nonsense. It is what is on the inside that is important to us. Not where they come from.
Don't let the old men's dragons hear you say that. You know that rigid tradition is all that drives them.
The Red Star has almost passed. Soon traditions will have no meaning.
Perhaps. It has been known that the Hold Lords will begin to question our purpose on Pern. We shall have to wait and see.
Craftmaster Dawn has let me know that your riding gear is repaired from the thread scores on it. You can pick it up whenever you like. And do something about your sore head. It's setting me on edge.
Thanks, Zen. I will.
Hello, lad. How's the head?
A bit sore. I don't think Zenth is too happy with me either.
Branth, too. Nothing worse than a dragon with a sore head. I'll bet Natoth is fuming this morning after what Nath did last night.
And what did Neth do?
You don't know? Well, far be it from me to tell you and risk the fellow further embarrassment.
Very well. Zenth tells me I left my knife with you last night.
I took it from you after you decided to scribe your name in one of the gaming tables.
That bend in wine was to blame. I hardly ever drink it.
I'd better show you how to use that knife in the way it's intended.
A good idea. I could use the practice.
Right, lad. Arm yourself. Go into your inventory and select the knife. Right. To use the combat stance that Jacob taught us when we were weirlings, press the action button. Good. You've kept your form, I see. Whilst holding the action button, you can circle around your enemy by pressing left or right. Give it a try. Right. Now press forward once to do a light attack. Easy, lad. You nearly ripped my shirt. Now press and hold forward to do a heavy attack. Excellent. Bear in mind, though, that a heavy attack takes longer, and you'll be vulnerable for a moment. Watch your enemy and how they move to gauge when is a good time to strike. Now try defending. Press down to defend at any time. You've remembered well. You can move and attack or defend too. Trying to get around the side of an enemy will give you an advantage. Also, the more you fight, the stronger you'll get. So now my blood's all fired up. Do you want to spar for a while?
Why not? Defend yourself.
That's the spirit. You'll soon forget about that sore head.
Ow! Ow!
That's enough for today. I'm worn out before I've begun.
The core. You have just earned your first skill. There are many more to find on Pern, all of which will give you enhanced abilities. To obtain them all will be a difficult task, as you must find a person with that skill to teach you. Also, you cannot use a new weapon until you are taught how. Press the inventory button to see which skills you have obtained. They are shown on the left. When you find a new one, then that skill badge will appear in its own slot. Would you like me to repeat that?
No, but thank you. When is this meeting going to start?
Who are you?
I'm Decor.
Well, Decor, when at least you become more conversant, perhaps we will speak. Go now, I'm busy.
Crack dust! Where did I put that journal?
Have you lost something?
My journal.
Well, where did you leave it?
I forget. It's not that it's got any personal things in it, but it contains a list of all the skins here and what's on them. Oh, I can't file anything without it. If you find it, be sure to bring it back, would you?
I'll keep an eye out.
You look a little confused. Do you know your way around the weir? I only say as I have a map I could give you.
A map sounds good.
Oh, now where is it? Here. You can look at it by pressing the map button. Different maps will highlight different parts of that location. Some may even lead you to hidden areas.
Thanks. I'm sure this will be useful.
And remember, if you see my journal...
I'll be sure to bring it back to you.
Found that journal yet?
And where do you think you're going?
What's behind that curtain?
The Weir Leader's private reading room, and only those of considerable reputation are allowed in there, I'm afraid.